Challenge number 2, read a book in the same spot the entire time. For that, I read The Dreamer by Laura Innes, and this is a graphic novel about a girl who, I was kind of wrong on the concept. I thought I knew what it was about. I didn't.
Well, that's
she
right.
falls asleep, and when she's dreaming, she's living out time during the Revolutionary War, like in New York State on Long Island, where they're warring, and you got, you know, famous people who I don't know, and George Washington and whatnot. But then she wakes up and it's her current life, and she's like, am I dreaming or was it real? Because it seemed awfully real. We don't know. I actually finished this one. This is the book I gave 5 stars. I loved it. I have the second one. I don't have the third one, and I really want to pick up the second one and read it. So there's that. Okay, what book did you read in the same spot the whole time?
All of them. I didn't pick a specific one. Aliens are coming. Ooh. This one was not what I thought. If you read carefully here, it says, the true account of the 1938 War of the Worlds radio broadcast. That's exactly what it is. So it talks about, hey, the broadcast was going on, and people were listening, and they were like, oh man, this thing... oh my goodness, a thing from Mars, and oh no, the aliens are coming, and they came out, and this is terrible, and they're destroying things. This is the worst. Look, you guys, they're invading, and people were freaking out about it. And then they realized, wait, we went to the place where they said stuff's going on, and nothing is happening here. It was all a hoax. These were just radio actors doing crazy stuff. So that's basically the whole book right there.
Sweetie, I think you missed your calling. I think you should be an audiobook narrator, because that was super.
If somebody ever wanted me to narrate an audiobook, I'd do it. I don't think it'd be great.
Me too.
But this says author's note, and it gives all these fun details about it.
Just to note, though, the aliens did not come. They did a drive-by, and they were
this
like,
time.
No.
Catch you on the next flyby.
Oh, nice.
So it was pretty interesting.
Good.
It's factual. It's good.
Factual. Fact. Bears eat beets. Third one is read a book you meant to read last year. For me, it was, again, The Dreamer. I meant to read this last year, so I read it this year instead.
So I did keep meaning to actually read, because she talks about Shel Silverstein books all the time, and I was like, they're fun and kooky, but I thought originally they were like Dr. Seuss. That's how it's pronounced. I'm sorry. And they're not at all. They're weirder. So I keep meaning to read it. And is this in our room, in the kids' room?
Yes, this is one of ours. I gave it to Thing 2 last year, and she loved it.
And I kept meaning to read it, and I didn't. And so that's what it counts as, is a giraffe and a half. And all it is this one's a little like
this one's fun.
Yeah, it just adds on basically that if a giraffe and a half found an old trunk and it was inside a skunk, he'd be a giraffe and a half with a
drunk and a skunk,
beer on his ear, and a drunk on a skunk, whatever. So I mean, it's fine, it's good. I would give it, if I was a kid, I would find it a lot more amusing, and so I'm rating all these as if I was a child. So the War of the Worlds one, I didn't rate that one. I would have rated that probably a 3.5 because it's not it's very informational. Giraffe and a half, I probably would have rated like a 4.6.
I love that. 5 stars.
It's fun.
Child Stephanie says 5 stars. The next one is number 4. Read an author's first book. Dreamer, first book.
And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss, the very first children's book by Dr. Seuss. And here's the problem, though. If I would have read this as a kid and I'd read his other books, and I'll start saying Seuss because I know it's going to drive people nuts. Dr. Seuss. It's really short. It's not like this is the climax.
It's pretty tame.
He just basically, and there's not much of a story. He says, I saw a guy driving by in a wagon pulled by a mule. And he's like, but that's too boring. And so what if I said it was this? And then he just keeps adding things. And he adds like 7, 8 things. And then he's like, but never mind, it was just this. And that's the whole thing.
It was always one of my least favorite Dr. Seuss's. It really was. It wasn't one that I was like, I love that one.
Yeah, again, probably because I've been spoiled by his other stuff, I'll probably be like a 3.0, 3.5.
Okay. Read a book with a non-human main character. For that, I read Little Prince. He's an alien by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It's a library book, so it's very shiny.
Confident you butchered that. Antoine.
I ain't French, y'all.
De Saint-Exupéry. Or Exupéry. But It's Antoine.
My sister said it right.
Antoine.
Antoine. Anyway, yes. This was pretty cute. He's an alien. He's not a human being. I think I gave this like a 3.5 stars. Like, it was cute. It was good. It was a little bit sad. It definitely was like, this is a human moral of the story book thing. Yep, that's what it was. What about you? Non-human?
Sneetches and Other Stories.
This is my favorite one.
Now, this is pretty good. It's really good because there's a north-going Zax and a south-going Zax. They're like, I refuse to move. So it's very good about stubborn people. And Sneetches, which is about racism.
And stars on their bellies.
Which is...
Cokes on their bellies.
Well, which is really good. And then Too Many Daves. Mrs. McCabe,
that one's fun.
Who named all her kids...
They're all fun!
Named all her kids Dave. And it's like, what if she would have named him this or this or this? And then... She's like, but she didn't. She named him Dave.
George Foreman did not read this book.
He didn't name that many. Go look it up. It's not as many as I thought. I thought he named them all George. He didn't name them all George. But then, what was I scared of?
More than one George.
I vaguely remember reading just the short story, seeing it when I was a kid and being kind of scared because it's dark. Like, ooh, and there's a pair of pants there, and the pair of pants is disembodied. There's no body with them, and it's always chasing him.
Just pants.
And it turns out he becomes friends with the pants.
I just wanted some friendly pants.
And they're like, oh, poor empty pants, and they see each other, and they're like, hey, hey. And so you may be afraid of somebody or of something, and you know what? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. So a lot of good tales, cautionary tales, and things like that in this book. It was very good.
Thank you.
I would give it a 4.8.
I have 5 stars.
I don't give out 5 stars.
The next one is read a book that has 5 or more words in the title. And for this one, I read Snow White and the 7 Keys to Doomsday.
Ooh.
Which is a Doctor Who fairy tale. Ooh. I have like a bunch of them, so you'll be seeing more of them in this very episode. This one I really liked. I probably gave this one 4 stars. I liked this one quite a bit. It takes the Snow White story and it spins it, and it's like, well, it's kind of different than that, and actually it's completely different, but and it has some very Whovian ways about it. So I did like it. I'm not going to go into detail with these because, well, they're based on a fairy tale, but then they're completely different from the fairy tale. And you can take the 12 minutes it takes to read the book. I trust you.
Oh my goodness, you guys. This book, Mouston Abbey, The Cheesy Treasure Hunt. What?
There you go.
The Cheesy Treasure Hunt. Look at this book.
Mark loves Downton Abbey. As much as I do. Maybe more.
Yeah. Over 60 flaps.
He has a crush on one of the main characters.
I wouldn't call it a crush. There's nothing sexual about it. But.
And who is this? Who is this character?
Don't worry about it. Maybe you'll find out someday.
You guys should guess down below what character in Downton Abbey
is easily my favorite.
Is Mark's favorite character.
But it's a tab book, so you'd be like, oh, hello, I'm such a scatterbrain. Can you find these things? We're trying to help Lord Emmett. Oh! Look, we found papers, but it's only papers under there. That's not his belt or a sock. Oh, wait. There's yet another tab.
But wait, there's more.
And there's a hole with the ladder, so we should... And then, wait, there's... inside the clock, and there's different things in here. There's all sorts of... So, it was excellent. If I was a kid, this would be my 5-star book.
You got a 5-star book?
It's a flappy book. It would have been like 5.1 or something, if that's possible, if it was like a pop-up book or something. But it was amazing.
That's a pretty good one.
Recommend.
Pretty good. Okay, read a book and then watch the movie adaptation. I watched the movie Little Prince. Actually, I like the movie better. They changed some stuff in it. And made it different in a few ways. I feel like they expanded on the whole humanity sucks thing and learned from it. They added a girl to it, and her, like a young girl, and her view of the Little Prince in the story. So she's actually viewing it like, oh, this guy, Antonio, whatever.
Antoine
wrote this book, and Antoine is my neighbor. Our dogs have come to see us. It's kind of how they did the movie, and I liked it. I liked it. I liked the book fine, but I liked the movie better. What did you read and watch?
Oh, speaking of humanity basically sucks is the point that we're trying to make. Like, oh man, humanity's so bad. And, for the movie they added a girl. Senny and I watched The Lorax.
I watched it too.
And Stephanie watched the Lorax. How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes
Buster.
naturally. How bad can I be? How bad can I possibly be?
Just look at me petting this puppy.
Oh. Okay, so the Lorax. I watched the movie as well. It's got a heavy hippie environmentalism message, which I liked and I thought was a lot of fun. And they do it in a fun way. It's very colorful. There's parts of it that are dark, but the parts in the book are dark too. And I feel like there's a lot more definitive hope and such in the movie more than there is in the book at the end of the movie. And the book I would have given, I don't know, I kind of like the movie better, but I mean, they had professional production of like good songs and things.
Good actors.
Yeah, good voice acting. I would say I'd probably give it a 4.5. It was really good. I enjoyed
The book
it.
is good.
Yep.
I did like the movie better than the book on that one too.
Yeah.
But again, you can expand more.
Yeah, and they wouldn't be what it is without the book, obviously. Not even close.
True. Those are all of our prompts. The last 3 books that I read were all Doctor Who fairy tales. I have Helena and the Beast, which I think this was the highest rated one. That one actually had, I want to say, the 10th Doctor in it, because that's how I envisioned it. And then we have Jack and the Wormhole, and we have Frozen Beauty, which is my least favorite. But they were all really, really cute and quick, and they helped me get to 7 books. And over 1,000 pages. And then Mark read a bonus book as well. Would you like to show them your bonus book?
I would. So one of Stephanie's viewers will like this because she picked it specifically because one of her subscribers asked or recommended this. So
And the library had it.
And the library had it, so she had me read Dinosaur Kisses. And I read Dinosaur Kisses.
And you read it to me.
I read it to Stephanie.
And what did you rate this book, this dinosaur kissing book?
I liked this book a lot. It was super fun. You're like, what silly stuff is this? This doesn't make any sense for kids. I would try to give you a kiss and then accidentally stomps on a frog and stuff. Like, it's so cute. So I actually really liked it a lot. It's very, very cute. It doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense because it's trying to just rhyme things and do simple words with good onomatopoeia. Like, chomp, whomp, you know. So I liked that a lot. I liked the literary devices that it uses for such a simple kids book. So if I was, say, 4 or 5, I would have really loved this book. So 5-year-old Mark gives this a 5 stars.
So you had 2 5-star reads.
I did.
That's really good.
I did.
That's really good. I think I just had the one.
I have very few adult 5 stars.
I did also read about half the book of Touch, but that was like 200 pages, and that did throw me over that 1,000 mark for sure. So this is my reading rush wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a fun reading rush. I wish I would have felt better towards the end because that little headache that became bigger and bigger and bigger just made me not want to read. And when you don't feel well, you don't want to do things. It would have been better if I wouldn't have been sick, but what are you going to do? No big deal. It is what it is. So thank you guys for coming with me on this vlogging journey. I hope you enjoyed 7 days of vlogs. I did get them all up eventually, though maybe a few weeks late, but it's my life, so it's all good. I will be getting my monthly wrap-ups from April, May, June, July sometime soon, so you can look forward to those as well. But don't forget to like.
And don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to click the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I have a video up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Goodbye! Bye. And you can also click the bell icon if I am a video that you would like to be notified of every time I put one up. That didn't make sense.
No, it made sense.
Did not.
If your video...
if my video? If every time my channel?
Yeah, if my videos are ones you want to be notified about.